The whistle blew, and the world shattered around me like cheap stadium glass. My best friend, the quarterback we'd all bet the season on, crumpled to the turf, his leg twisted at an angle that screamed forever broken. In that frozen heartbeat, Coach Harlan's gravelly voice cut through the chaos. "Elliot, you're in now." And just like that, the kid who'd spent practices sketching plays in the dirt instead of running them became the last hope for our dying team. His wide eyes locking onto mine across the field like a secret we'd both been too scared to whisper. I remember the exact second it hit me. Not the snap of bone or the roar of the crowd turning to stunned silence, but the way Elliot's hand brushed mine as he jogged past, his fingers lingering just long enough to ignite something raw and forbidden in my chest. A spark that said this wasn't just about the game anymore. We'd hidden it for months, stolen glances in the locker room, late-night texts that danced around the truth. But now, with the clock ticking down to 0 and our small-town dreams on the line, that spark threatened to burn us both alive. My name's Jake Harlan, no relation to the coach, thank God, or family dinners would have been a nightmare. Growing up in Willow Creek, Ohio, population 5,247 and shrinking, football wasn't just a sport. It was the heartbeat of the place. Friday nights under those rattling floodlights were church, revival, and reckoning all rolled into one. Our high school, Willow Creek Hawks, hadn't made playoffs since '09, back when my dad was still alive to coach the sidelines himself. He drilled it into me. "Son, on that field, you fight for your brothers, or you ain't worth the cleats." I was 17, senior year, wide receiver with a scholarship whisper from Ohio State if we pulled off a miracle. But miracles? In Willow Creek, they came wrapped in flannel and skepticism, served with a side of cornfields. Elliot showed up in late August, a transfer from some artsy magnet school in Cleveland, the kind of place where kids debated poetry slams instead of tackling dummies. He was 5'9" on a good day, wiry like a stray wire from a busted amp, with hair that fell in chestnut waves he never bothered to gel back. Coach called him the poet behind his back, not kindly. Elliot enrolled midsummer session, quiet as a shadow, carrying a sketchbook everywhere like it was his shield. First day of practice, he showed up in sneakers, actual Converse, not cleats, and stood on the sideline, doodling the offensive line like they were characters in a graphic novel. I noticed him because he noticed me, not in the wolf whistle way the team catcalled cheerleaders, but softer, like he was tracing the lines of my exhaustion after wind sprints. We'd lock eyes across the huddle, and it'd feel like the air thickened, charged with something unspoken. Willow Creek wasn't hostile, not outright, but it was the kind of town where fag got tossed around like a fumble, casual as a high five. My own secret, buried deeper than Dad's old playbook in the attic. I'd known since freshman year, when Tommy Reynolds' accidental kiss during a drunk spin the bottle at a bonfire flipped my world inside out. But I played straight, dated Sarah from bio class for appearances, laughed at the jokes. Survival, you know? Coach Harlan, grizzled, ex-Marine with a buzz cut gone silver and a limp from Nam, ran us like boot camp. He was the uncle I never wanted but needed, barking orders that echoed off the grain silos. "Hustle, Harlan. You're carrying your daddy's ghost. Don't drop it." We'd scrimmage till the stars punched through the dusk, bodies slick with sweat and Midwestern humidity. Elliot watched from the bleachers, sketching, until one Tuesday when Coach dragged him onto the field. "Boy, you gonna eat up space or contribute? Pick a jersey." Elliot fumbled the handoff like it was a live grenade. But he didn't quit. He learned fast, not with muscle but instinct, dodging tackles like he was weaving through a crowded gallery opening. After practice, I'd linger, pretending to tape my ankles, stealing glances as he unlaced those ridiculous sneakers. One night, rain slicking the parking lot like oil, I offered him a ride home in my beat-up Ford Ranger. His place was a trailer on the edge of town, lights flickering like they owed the electric company money. "Thanks, Jake," he said, sliding into the passenger seat, sketchbook clutched to his chest. Up close, he smelled like graphite and cheap citrus soap. Clean, sharp, alive. "You're not like the others. You see things." My heart jackhammered. "What things?" He smiled, faint as a half moon. "The poetry in the plays. The way the ball arcs like a promise. We talked that night till the wipers slapped midnight away. About his mom, a painter who split when he was 10. His dad, a ghost in Cleveland. How he'd rather draw than destroy. I confessed bits. Dad's cancer eating him slow. How the field was the only place I felt whole. By the time I dropped him off, the air between us hummed, electric as a storm front. Weeks blurred into that rhythm. Practices where I'd fake a stumble to brush his shoulder. Texts at 2 a.m. about nothing and everything. "What's your favorite color?" he'd ask. "The one in your eyes when you laugh," I'd reply, then delete, send something safe instead. Sarah dumped me after homecoming. Said I kissed like I was thinking of the playbook. Good riddance, it freed me to dream. Then came the scout from OSU mid-October, fat notebook in hand. Coach amped us up. "This is it, boys. State semis on the line against Riverton Rams. We win, scholarships rain like manna." Riverton was beasts, undefeated, linebackers built like combines. Our QB, my best friend Nate, was the golden boy. 6'3", arm like a cannon, daddy's farm money buying him the best gear. We'd been thick as thieves since Pee-wee, sharing secrets over post-game burgers at Millie's Diner. He didn't know mine, but I figured he suspected, the way he'd punch my arm too hard after locker room showers testing. Elliot started as water boy, then backup corner, the least likely spot for a dreamer. But he shone in drills, reading routes like pages in a book. "Kids got eyes?" Coach grunted one day, clapping his back. Elliot beamed, and I felt it in my gut. Pride twisted with something fiercer, possessive. The night before the Riverton game, Nate threw a team party at his barn. Hay bales, kegs smuggled from his cousin's stash, bonfire crackling like Judgment Day. I nursed a solo cup, watching Elliot perch on a fence rail, sketching flames. Nate sidled up, slurring. "Your boy's weird, Jake. What's his deal? Poet fag or something?" I shoved him harder than I meant. "Shut your mouth, Nate. He's solid." He laughed, but it lingered sour. Later, as the fire died to embers, Elliot and I slipped away to the creek bank, feet dangling in the chill water. Moonlight silvered his skin, and when he turned, his lips parted like an invitation. "Jake, I think I'm falling for this place. For you." My breath caught. I leaned in, our foreheads touching, the world narrowing to that point of contact. No kiss, not yet, but the promise hung heavy, sweet as forbidden fruit. "Me too," I whispered. "But it's dangerous here." He traced my knuckles with his thumb. "Worth it." That vulnerability cracked me open. We talked till dawn sketched the horizon. Dreams of escaping to Columbus, him illustrating books, me suiting up for the Buckeyes. For the first time, I let myself imagine us. Hands laced under diner booths, stolen weekends in the city. Human, real, alive. Game day dawned crisp, leaves crunching underfoot like brittle bones. The stadium, our rickety coliseum, swelled with 800 souls, farmers in John Deere caps, moms clutching thermoses. Riverton rolled in on a bus like conquerors, their jerseys gleaming. We huddled pre-kickoff, coach's voice a war cry. "This field's ours, boys. Fight like hell." Nate fired the opening drive, threading needles through their secondary. I hauled in a slant for 25, crowd erupting like thunder. But midway second quarter, on a 3rd and long, Nate dropped back, and their blitz came like a freight train. I saw it unfold in slow motion. The blindside hit, his helmet cracking pavement, leg folding wrong. Screams pierced the air, medics swarming as he writhed, face ashen. The stadium hushed, a collective inhale. Coach paced the sideline, face carved from granite, scanning backups. No one's arm matched Nate's. Then his eyes landed on Elliot, clipboard in hand. Forgotten. "Elliot, you're in now." Elliot froze, sketchbook tumbling to the grass. The team stared, me included, jaws slack. The poet? QB? It was insanity, a Hail Mary before the snap. But he nodded, stripping off his jacket, strapping on Nate's spare helmet. As he trotted out, our eyes met, mine wide with terror, his steady as a vow. The crowd murmured, Riverton's bench snickering. Third, And 13. 8:42 left in the half. Score tied 7-7. Elliot took the shotgun snap, voice cracking over the line. Blue 42. Set. Hot. Pressure collapsed the pocket. He danced left, eyes scanning ghosts. I streaked downfield, cutting sharp, and there it was, a bullet pass, wobbling but true, hitting my gloves at the 30. Gain of 22. First down. The roar built slow, then exploded. Elliot jogged back, helmet off, hair matted, grinning like he'd cracked the code to the universe. Your turn to run, he said, low for me alone. We punched in a field goal before half, up 10-7. Locker room was fever. Slaps on Elliot's back, coach growling approval. Keep those eyes open, kid. You're seeing what they ain't. Nate, stretchered out, thumbs up from the ambulance. Broken fibula, season over. Halftime blurred. Second half, Riverton clawed back, grinding us with runs like bulldozers. 17-10 them, fourth quarter, for 12 left. Elliot orchestrated a drive, checkdowns to the tees, a keeper for 8, but stalled at midfield. 4th and 2. Coach signaled fake punt, direct snap to me on an end-around. It worked barely. I churned for 9, but their safety stripped the ball at the 42. Fumble recovered. Riverton 24-10 with 2:18. Game over, dreams gutted. Or so we thought. Elliot huddled us, voice steady. One play. That's all we need. Kickoff returned to our 18. No huddle, hurry up. Elliot called audibles like he'd been born under center. Slant to me for 12, screen to the RB for 6. Down to 105, our 36, 3rd and 8. He dropped back, flushed right, and launched it. A rainbow arc, 40 yards. Leather-slicing twilight. I leaped, fingers kissing pigskin, touchdown. 24-17. Timeout Ohio, crowd on its feet, chanting LEOT, like a prayer. Extra point good. Onside kick, we fell on it. 45 seconds. Elliot milked the clock, dinks and dunks. Then with 0:08 left, from the 25, he rolled out, pump-faked, and threaded the uprights himself. Game tied. Overtime. The stadium pulsed, alive with impossibility. Riverton deferred. We got the ball first. Elliot handed off twice, then faked the dive, play-action bootleg. I leaked deep, safety biting the run. Wide open at the 10. The pass floated eternal, settling soft in my arms. Touchdown. 31-24. Their turn, 3 and out. Our D stuffed M. Final whistle. Victory. But as confetti rained, cheap streamers from the booster club, Elliot collapsed, not from joy, but pain. His shoulder, wrenched in that last scramble, hung limp. Medics carted him off, face pale, but he winked at me. Worth it. That night, hospital waiting room reeked of bleach and regret. Coach paced. I sat numb, replaying every snap. Nate texted from his room. Your boy's a wizard. Don't fuck it up. When they let me in, Elliot was propped up, arm in sling, sketching one-handed. Our huddle heroic. We did it, Jake. I took his good hand, thumb tracing veins. You did. His eyes softened. Us. The kiss happened then, tentative tasting of salt and victory. No cameras, no crowd. Just us in that sterile room, claiming what Willow Creek couldn't steal. But secrets don't stay buried in small towns. Not when triumph tastes this sweet. The weeks after that miracle game blurred into legend. Willow Creek turned Elliot into a folk hero overnight. Murals sprouting on barn walls. Kids in elementary jerseys with Poet QB iron-ons. The local paper, the Creek Chronicle, ran a front-page spread. From sketchpad to spotlight, transfer teen saves Hawk season. Coach Harlan, ever the showman, booked interviews. Elliot dodged most, mumbling about just doing my part. But the scouts swarmed. OSU, Michigan, even a whisper from Alabama. My scholarship solidified. His offers piled like autumn leaves. We stole moments in the glow. Post-practice drives to the quarry, skipping stones across water black as ink, our shoulders brushing till one of us caved. First real kiss under a harvest moon. His lips tentative, then fierce, like he'd been starving. "I've wanted this since day one." He breathed against my neck, hands framing my face. Mine trembled, mapping the curve of his jaw, the vulnerability in his eyes. It wasn't fireworks. It was hearth fire, steady, warming the cold corners I'd hidden for years. "You're beautiful," I murmured, and he laughed, soft, pulling me closer. We talked futures. Him majoring in graphic design, me in sports management, an apartment off High Street in Columbus with windows overlooking the Scioto. "We'll have a dog," he'd say. "A mutt named Scout." I'd nod, heart full, ignoring the voice whispering, "Too good to last." Nate healed slow, hobbling on crutches by Thanksgiving, but he warmed to Elliot, grudging respect turning to bro hugs. "You threw like a damn angel, man." Team dynamics shifted. The jabs at Elliot faded, replaced by awe. Even Sarah, now dating a JV lineman, shot me knowing glances in the hall, like she'd cracked my code. But Willow Creek's underbelly simmered. My mom, waitress at Millie's, overheard whispers at the counter. "That new kid, artsy type, plays a mean game," but the ellipses hung heavy, laced with suspicion. Dad's old fishing buddies cornered Coach at the VFW. "Harlan, your boy's got flair. Too much." Coach shut him down, but the rot spread. Playoffs loomed, semis against Dayton Central, beasts from the city with Division I pipelines. We trained brutal. Dawn runs through frosted fields, film sessions till eyes burned. Elliot adapted, shoulder taped like a mummy, but his reeds sharpened, arm a whip. One evening, after hill sprints left us gassed, we collapsed behind the equipment shed, breaths sinking in the chill. "Jake," he said, head on my thigh. "What if we told them? After playoffs? All of it." My gut twisted. It's not that simple. This town. It chews up different. He sat up, eyes fierce. "We're different together. That's strength." I wanted to believe him, God. I did. But fear's a sly bastard, coiling tight. "One more game, then we talk." He nodded, but doubt flickered, brief as a shadow. Game night. Dayton Stadium. Urban sprawl under sodium lights. Crowd a sea of red and black. They jumped us early. 14-0 first quarter. Their RB gashing us like butter. Elliot steadied the ship, scrambling for firsts, hitting me on crosses that split seams. Halftime 14-10 us. After a flea flicker I'd suggested ball from center to RB to Elliot, then deep to me for 60. Second half they surged, trick play, 70-yard bomb. 21-17 them, 8 o'clock left. We answered, Elliot's keeper, diving from the 5, ball secure. Tie. Then D held, forcing a punt. Our drive, methodical, Elliot calling protections like a vet. 4th and goal at the 3. 22 left. He rolled right, lofted a fade. I high-pointed it over their corner, toes in bounds. 24-21. Overtime again? No, they drove. But our LB, Tommy, yeah, the spin-the-bottle ghost, stuffed the QB sneak on 4th down. Sealed. Post-game, euphoria hit like morphine. Reporters mobbed Elliot. He deflected to the team, humble as ever. In the bus lot, away from lights, we kissed fierce, adrenaline surging. 2 down, I whispered. State finals next. He grinned. Our story's just starting. But back home, the crack widened. Anonymous notes in lockers. Poets got secrets. Mine read, "Watch your back, Harlan. Blood tells." I burned it in the sink, stomach sour. Told no one, not even Elliot. Protect him, I thought. Thanksgiving break, Nate hosted again, smaller, families mingling. Elliot met Mom over turkey, charming her with sketches of the farm. "This boy's got talent," she said later, squeezing my arm. "Hold on tight." Dad's absence loomed, empty chair like a wound, but Elliot filled it, telling stories of Cleveland galleries, making her laugh till tears came. Nate pulled me aside by the woodpile, breath beery. "Jake, level with me. You and the poet. It's more, right?" I froze, axe mid-swing. "What?" He shrugged, eyes kind for once. "Seen you too. It's cool, man. Just Be careful. Town's talkin'. Rage flared. Who? Doesn't matter. Promise me you'll fight smart. I nodded, but the seed planted. Betrayal's shadow, close as kin. Finals week blurred. Cramming calc, stealing naps in Elliot's trailer. His mom absent on a retreat. We studied naked of secrets, clothed in trust. One night, snow dusting the windows, he traced my scars. Old football bruises. Dad's belt marks from bad report cards. You're a warrior, he said. My warrior. Love. The word hung unspoken, but it was there, root deep. State finals. Columbus, Horseshoe Stadium. Holy ground, 100,000 ghosts cheering. Opponent, Toledo Tech, juggernauts with NFL bloodlines. Pre-game, coach gathered us in the tunnel. Boys, this ain't just a game. It's legacy. Your daddy's watchin'. Eyes misted. Mine stung for dad. Elliot started hot. 80 yards first drive. TD pass to me on a post. 7-0. They answered thunderous run game. 14-7 half. Third quarter lightning. Elliot sacked, fumbling, they scooped and scored. 21-7. Crowds roar dipped. Our sideline sagged. Timeout. Elliot, dirt streaked, locked eyes with me. One play changes everything. He was right. Fourth quarter, trailing 28-24, 6 o'clock left. Drive of the century. Slant to the slot for 15, draw up the gut for 12, my will route for 28. Red zone. But on 2nd and 8, blitz, Elliot evaded, spun, flipped a no-look to the tee. 1st and goal. Then it cracked. 3rd down, he dropped back. Clean pocket and unloaded. Pick 6. Interception returned 98 yards. 35-24. 2:45 left. Bushes of panic. We got the ball at 18, Hail Mary time. Elliot marshaled. Quick outs, a keeper, my screen for 22. Down to 45. They're 35. Shotgun. Red 19. Hot. Chaos. Pocket collapsing. Elliot scrambling left. 10 yards. 15. Then right. Evading like smoke. I streaked sideline. Screaming his name in my head. He planted, fired, spiral tight, threading double coverage. I dove, ball burrowing into my chest at the 2. Incomplete. No, reviewed. Upheld. Touchdown. Wait, spot at the 1. 12 left. Spike to stop clock. 1st and goal. Elliot took the snap, rolled, drew the safety, flipped backhand to me in the flat. I cut up, dove over the pylon. Touchdown. 35-31. Overtime? No, onside, we recovered. Kneel down. Win. Columbus exploded. We were kings. Trophies, tears, coach weeping unashamed. Elliot and I, amid the scrum, hands brushing electric. But in the locker room, high fading, Nate cornered me. Jake, I had to tell coach. About you too. Town's poison. Better from me. Betrayal hit like a blindside. You what? Protecting you. He knows now. Coach entered then, face thunder. Harlan. A word. Outside, under goalposts, he lit a smoke, rare. Nate spilled. You and the boy. I braced. Coach. Listen. I lost a brother in Nam, same secret. Town hanged him in effigy when word got out. Buried him quiet. Pause, ash falling. You fight clean, you hear? No shame in love. But this field's no place for half measures. Relief flooded, mixed bitter. Elliot. He saved us. Coach nodded. Damn right. Now save each other. We flew home heroes, but the air shifted. Whispers louder, stares lingering. Elliot sensed it, pulling away slight. What's wrong? Nothing, I lied. Just tired. Final party, town square. Bonfire big as a house. Mayor toasted. Band played Sweet Caroline. Elliot and I danced on the fringes, not close, but orbiting. Midnight, we slipped to the tracks. Rails humming with freight. I love you, he said, first to say it. I echoed, pulling him in, kiss deep, world dissolving. Then headlights, truck idling. Voices, faggots, bottles shattered. We ran, hearts pounding, but the damage rooted. Winter clamped Willow Creek like a vice. Snowdrifts burying the field. Icicles stabbing from bleachers like accusations. State champs meant parades, key to the city bullshit, but also scrutiny. Reporters sniffed deeper. A Cleveland blogger posted Hawk's hidden hero. Is Elliot Kane more than meets the eye? Comments festered. Poet? More like pansy. I deleted the app, but poison seeped. School resumed January post-holiday haze. Lockers vandalized. QB queer scrawled in marker on Elliot's. He laughed it off, but his sketches darkened. Fractured plays, figures half-shadow. Art's truth, he'd say, but his hand shook. I confronted Nate in the AG shop. Hay dust swirling. You outed us, man. For what? He winced, crutches propped. Coach said handle it. Town elders, they threatened pull funding if rumors stuck. I chose the team. Team? We're the team. Jake, grow up. Willow Creek eats its own. Fury boiled. I swung. Connected with his jaw clean. He crumpled, blood from lip. Stay away from us. Word spread. Suspensions loomed. Coach mediated. Boys fight fair. Jake, heart's right but head's hot. Nate, loyalty's blind sometimes. We shook, brittle. But trust? Shattered like that bottle at the tracks. Elliot and I hunkered. Study dates at the library, windows fogged, hands linked under tables. We'll leave soon, I'd promise. OSU orientations loomed. Mine confirmed. His pending. Scouts waffling on the distractions. One night, trailer quiet. His mom's latest trip extended. We cooked spaghetti, domestic, sweet. Over plates, he confessed. Dad called. From Cleveland. Wants me back. Says the family's concerned. My fork clattered. About. You know. His eyes dropped. Us. Rage at phantoms. Screw him. You're ours now. He smiled, said. Am I? Or just the hero till the shine fades? That cut. We made love. Not sex, but souls tangling slow, reverent, bodies mapping forgiveness. Afterward, curled, he whispered dreams. Galleries in New York, my games on TV, us gray and grinning. But dawn brought reality. Another note in my locker. Tell the poet to run plays at homecoming, alone. I showed Coach, he cursed, vowed investigations. This town's got cancer. We cut it out. But cancer spreads. February, regional banquet, suits and ties, hotel ballroom in Dayton. Elliot shone. MVP award, speech humble. Football taught me family. These guys, they're my lines on a page. Applause thundered. I beamed from the table, pride swelling. After, in the lot, snow falling fat, we walked to my truck. Shadows detached, 3 figures, Rivorton jerseys under coats. Champs, huh? Prove it sober. Elliot tensed. Not tonight. One lunged, beer breath, fist glancing my cheek. I swung back, tackling. Chaos erupted. Punches landed. Grunts echoing off cars. Elliot pulled a pipe from the truck bed. Dad's old tire iron. Brandishing. Back off! They scattered, laughing maniacal. Bruises bloomed, but we drove silent, adrenaline crashing. At the quarry we cleaned up. Ice on knuckles, his lips split. This is what it costs, he said, voice hollow. No, I fierce. They cost nothing. We do. He searched my face. Promise. Promise. But doubt gnawed. March Madness. Basketball fillers, but football film requests poured, colleges courting. Elliot's shoulder rehabbed. He threw in empty lots, me as DB, marveling at his touch. One afternoon, under budding maples, he dropped the ball, turned. Jake, I got an offer. Full ride, art scholarship at Pratt in Brooklyn. Joy spiked, then plummeted. New York? That's far, but real. For me. I swallowed glass. And us. Weekends. Summers. We'll make it. Hug tight, but fracture lines spidered. That night, texts from unknown. Poets leaving? Good riddance. Leaked. Someone talked. Suspicion coiled toward Nate. I cornered him at Millie's corner booth. You again, he paled. Swear no. But Dad heard from the elders. They're pushing Coach to bench Elliot for focus. Betrayal layered. The win wasn't enough? In Willow Creek? Never. I stormed out, drove to Elliot's. He was packing, sketchbooks stacked, duffels half-zipped. Early decision, he said. Can't wait for the hate to build. Heart shredded. Don't go. Fight with me. Tears tracked his cheeks. I love you too much to watch you break for me. We clung, kisses desperate, but morning came. Bus to Cleveland, then flight. I waved from the depot, truck idling, world gray. Text, miss you already. Be brave. Finals hit. I aced. Numb. Coach pulled me aside post-grad practice. Boys gone? Town's quieter. Yeah. He clapped my shoulder. Proud of you, son. Like your dad. Graduation. Caps airborne. Gowns flapping like flags. Mom sobbed. I scanned for phantoms. No Elliot. Brooklyn called. Speech time, valedictorian, me. Willow Creek taught us roots. Deep, tangled. But branches reach far. To brothers who see you. Love that defies dirt. Subtext heavy. Crowd shifted, but applause came. Summer scorched, hay baling for cash. OSU camps. Letters from Elliot. Sketches of bridges, subways. Words aching. Cities loud, but you're the quiet I need. Calls late. Voices bridging miles, plans solidifying. Fall move in together. Then August, call from Coach. Jake, get down here. Fieldhouse. Lights dim, air stale. He sat heavy. Scout report leaked. On Elliot. From that blogger photos locker room crap. Twisted. Nausea. What photos? Implied. You too. Someone sold him. Nate. I knew. Drove to his farm, dust clouding. He was in the barn pitching hay. You bastard. He dropped the fork. Jake. Sold us out? For what? Daddy's approval. Tears. They threatened my ride, Michigan. Said they'd bury it if I didn't. Confirm. Punch again, this time he swung back. We grappled, hay flying, till his dad pulled us apart. Shotgun racked. Out, Harlan. You're poison. Drove blind, tires screaming. Home. Mom waited. Saw the article, baby. It's lies. But lies stick. Texts flooded, freak. Teams ruined. I ghosted, world closing. Elliot called, voice breaking. Jake? It's everywhere. Mom saw, she's done. I'm coming. Bus to Cleveland, 8 hours hell. His trailer. Door ajar. Sketches shredded on lawn. Inside, him curled on couch, eyes hollow. They win, he whispered. No. I held him, rocking. We do. We burned the clippings, cooked ramen, talked till stars wheeled. Brooklyn still? I asked. He nodded, faint. With you. Relief. But dawn brought cops. Complaint from school board. Harassment, they said. Coaches doing shield us. Back in Willow Creek, town divided. Supporters with love wins signs at Millie's. Haters picketing town hall. Coach resigned. Letter scorched. Can't coach fear. Nate's family pulled his scholarship, karma's bite. He texted apology. Forgive? Deleted. Fall Columbus. Dorms first separate but weekends merged. Elliot commuted, art classes blooming him. Our apartment shoebox but ours, Scout the mutt chewing socks. Games. I caught passes, crowd chanting. He'd watch from stands, sketching triumphs. One night, post-win against Penn State, skyline glittering, we walked the oval. We made it, he said. Yeah. Kiss under oaks. Human, huh? He laughed. Messy human. But past claws. Winter break home. Mom welcoming, but stares lingered. Elders sued defamation, claiming morals clause breach. Coach testified. Those boys saved us. Soul deep. Dismissed. Victory small. Spring. Elliot's exhibit, Brooklyn Gallery. Virtual for me mid-season. The Field. Series. Us in oils, heroic, tender. Sold out. Graduation loomed, mine first. Stadium packed. He flew in, front row. Speech. Love's the ultimate play, risky, beautiful. To my poet. You stunned us all. Crowd hushed, then erupted. He met me on stage, hug fierce. Proud. Summer, road trip, Route 66 echoes, motels with neon hearts. We talked betrayal. Nate's ghost, town scar. Forgive, Elliot asked. Someday, for us. Fall again, prose knocking, my combine invite, his graphic novel deal. Life unfolded, layered. A climax brewed. Senior Bowl, mobile, all-star game, scouts galore. Elliot there, support. Night before, hotel bar. Nate, crutches gone, suit sharp. Michigan ring glinting. Jake, fist clenched. What? Apologize. Clean. I was scared kid. Elliot stepped up. We all were. Handshakes awkward. Good luck, Nate said. Game. I shown 80 yards, TD. But fourth quarter, injury, ankle roll, stretcher. Elliot rushed field, hand in mine. Breathe. Scans. Torn ligaments. Draft stock dipped. Devastated. Hospital, him vigilant. Football's not you. You're more. Tears. What if? Shut up. We rewrite. Rehab grind, him sketching beside. Motivation. Draft. Fourth round. Bengals. Home state miracle. Rookie year, depth chart, but plays came. Elliot's book launched, stunned. Our story veiled. Bestseller. Years layered. Super Bowl ring 29, his gallery in Soho wedding, quiet Ohio courthouse, mom officiating. Vows. You picked me least likely. Stunned us all. Town? Healed slow, coach's museum, our jerseys framed. Nate coached Pee-wee, redemption arc. Elliot. Graying waves. Worth the stunned. Always. Life in the pros hit like a rookie hazing. Pads heavier, hits harder, egos bruising egos. Cincinnati welcomed me with skyline sprawl and river humidity. But the Bengals' locker room was a pressure cooker. Vets barking orders, playbooks thicker than Bibles. I started as third receiver, special teams gunner, earning yards in scraps. Elliot made the commute work. Amtrak from New York, weekends in our Clifton brownstone, where the Ohio rolled lazy below like it knew our secrets. His book Stunned dropped that fall. Semi-autobio. Football fields morphing into canvases of hidden hearts. Reviews glowed. A raw ode to love's blindside tackle. Book tour pulled him coast to coast. I'd catch games on ESPN, him signing in Seattle, heart-tugging. Miss your tackles, he'd text, with a winky emoji that meant more. Betrayal's echo faded, but scars itched. Nate surfaced once, Bengal scout gig. Ironic. Pre-season. He clapped my pads. Kill it, Harlan. I nodded. Civil. Elliot. At training camp visit. Sketched him sidelined. Caption. Redemption routes. Mom thrived. Millie's promoted to manager. Dating a mechanic with kind eyes. Your dad's smiling, she'd say. Photos of us on the fridge. Willow Creek evolved slow. Pride flags at homecoming. Coach's statue unveiling. Plaque reading, for brothers who fight true. But conflict simmers. Second season. Starting gig. 900 yards. But whispers, Harlan's soft, that boyfriend story. Media dug. Out since college. We were the NFL's gay power couple. Profiles and out SI sidebars. Fans split, rainbow jerseys in stands. Slurs on talk radio. Elliot grounded me. Gallery opening in Cincy. His exhibit End Zones. Abstracts of turf and tenderness. Opening night, suit sharp, he toasted. To fields where we score off script. Kiss for cameras. Cheers drown trolls. Climax brewed off field. Charity game. Willow Creek All-Stars versus Pros. Fundraiser for Coaches Youth League. Homecoming of sorts. I flew in, Elliot beside. Scout the dog in cargo. Town square bustled. Booths. Bands. Air thick with fry grease and nostalgia. Nate organized, redemption full. Glad you came, he said, firm handshake. Means healing. Elliot nodded. Past's a fumble. Recover. Game. Alumni versus current. Floodlights hazy. I played QB for fun, arm rusty but heart full. Elliot commentated, mic in hand, voice warm. See Harlan drop back. Poetry in motion. Halftime, score tied, bonfire crackled. Elders approached, gray now, regrets etched. Led Mr. Hargrove, extended hand. Boys, we were wrong. Towns learned. Skeptic, but I shook. Takes guts to say. Then it shattered. Fire alarm wail. Smoke billowing from the tent. Chaos screams. Stampede. Arson, later confirmed. Rag and gas can. Grudge from old guard. Elliot shoved me clear. Nate herded kids. Flames licked sky, acrid bite. Fire crew doused. No injuries, but terror lingered. Suspect? Fringe uncle of a teammate. Confessed. Town gone soft. Aftermath. Vigils, unity rallies. Elliot sketched the blaze, not destruction, but phoenix. Ashes birthing rainbows. From stunned to risen, he titled. We stayed weeks rebuilding. Mom housed us. Nights on porch, stars sharp. We planned. Adopt? He asked. Family. Yes. Pros beckoned, contract year. I balled out 1,200 yards, playoffs. Elliot's second book. Overtime, Love's Endurance. Wedding whispers grew. Vegas? No, Willow Creek. Full circle. But betrayal's last gasp. Anonymous leak. My medicals. Pre-draft ankle faked as fragile. Stock dipped. Trades rumored. Confronted agent. Traced to old scout. Nate's rival. Jealousy, he said. Nate vouched. Character witness, presser. Jake Steele. Don't believe the noise. Cleared. Gratitude, beers at Millie's, first time. Brothers again? He asked. Yeah. Summer. Ceremony under those goalposts, 200 souls, rainbows everywhere. Vows. You picked the unlikely me. Stunned the world. Rings exchanged, kiss ceiling. Honeymoon, road trip, endless highway. Happy? He asked, head on dash. Stunned. Life layered. My all-pro nod 32, his TED Talk on art and identity. Kid came. Foster to adopt, little Ben with Elliot's waves and my grin. Willow Creek visits. Parades now ours. Years stacked like playbooks, Pro Bowls, gallery retrospectives. Ben's first kickoff at age 5, Jersey mini mine. Cincinnati rooted deep. Foundation for LGBTQ youth sports. Stunned scholars scholarships in Elliot's name. Willow Creek. Mecca. Annual Kane Harlan Classic. Rivals uniting under rainbows. But drama's DNA. Conflict-crested mid-30s. My body betrayed, knees creaking, hits lingering. Final season, Bengals Super Bowl run. AFC champ, then Foxborough freeze. Fourth quarter, tied. 0-1 left. My slant, goal line. Leap catch but shoulder pops, turf meeting me hard. Carted off, stadium blurring. Elliot on sideline, face ashen. Ben in stands with mom, screaming silent. Diagnosis, rotator cuff, career ender. 34, retirement loomed, stunned again. Hospital vigil, him holding. Not end. Intermission. Presser. Tears, mic shaking. Football gave family. Now I build one. Elliot's response. Mural downtown, me mid-catch, ball morphing to heart. The catch that mattered. Post-career. Coaching? No, analyst gig, ESPN, breaking down plays with poetry. Elliot's empire. Soho flagship. Books trilogy complete. Ben thrived, artist-athlete, our blend. Betrayal finale. Nate's scandal. Embezzling from league funds. Fell hard, jail time, career ash. Visited him, bars cold. Why? Greed. Thought I outran it. Forgive, I said. But learn. He nodded. You stunned me, Jake. Saved. Out he coached inner city, redemption real. Our vow renewal. 10 years, goalposts again. Ben ring-bearer, mom beaming. To unlikely picks, Elliot toasted. Life's endgame. Human, flawed, luminous. Willow Creek's field, under lights. Ben's team huddling, echo of us. Elliot sketches sidelines, hand in mine. What he did left us stunned. Ben asks once. I smile. Loved. Fully. And that's the play.